All right, so this video is all about a city that doesn't get a lot of attention typically, just because it is a little smaller than some of the others, and really it's newer and just starting to continue to grow. But in this video, we're gonna go over the best neighborhoods to live here in the city of Winchester, California. We're gonna go over the 3 best neighborhoods. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I'm a realtor and team leader with the Short Real Estate team here at Keller Williams in Temecula, and this video is all about the city of Winchester. This is an area, like I mentioned, that doesn't get a lot of attention just because it is smaller. It doesn't have quite the same population that say Temecula, Murrieta, or even Menifee have, but it is an area that I have a lot of clients in. I've actually used to live in Winchester for almost a decade, so we still have a lot of friends that live there, and now I live just a few miles away in the city of Temecula. So super familiar with it, and hopefully I can give you some really good perspective on what it's like from someone that actually lives here in the area and has some firsthand knowledge that hopefully will be helpful for you. But before we get into all the information, if you are liking real estate videos like this, please do me a favor, please hit like, please hit subscribe to the channel. Obviously it helps me and it helps my channels. We try to continue to grow it. And then if you guys have any real estate questions, you can feel free to reach out anytime. So you can see my information either at the end of the video or down below. You can see my phone number, my email. You can feel free, you can call, you can text, you can email me. Like I said, it's my cell phone. So you're happy to chat with you, happy to point you in the right direction or give some recommendations. Or of course, if I can help you out with a real estate search, would love to be a resource for you. That's that's how I earn a living. So would love the opportunity to help, of course. So cool. All right, so we're going to get into the top neighborhoods in the city of Winchester. If you are not super familiar with Winchester, it is basically, we're here southwest Riverside County, which is really, where I'm based out of. You have the southernmost city, kind of the 15 freeway runs more or less pretty much north and south. The southernmost city in Riverside County is Temecula. The next city up is Murrieta, and then Winchester is like right over here to the, I guess that'd be the northeast. So kind of right up this way. A lot of people do get kind of thrown off because Winchester is also a road. So off of that 15 freeway that runs pretty north and south, you have Winchester Road is one of the main exits. So if you are driving here and you get off, you're on the freeway and you get off on Winchester Road and you take it northeast, Winchester Road will take you to the city of Winchester. So it's an area that's grown a lot. So my family, actually when I was a child, purchased one of the original tract homes out in Winchester. At the time, it was like super remote. Honestly, it was cheap and affordable, and that's why that's the first house they ever purchased was out there. So that's how we ended up out there. That area has grown a ton. It used to be, just to get gas, you're like 8 miles out just for like a gas station. So it was not, there was not the most convenient of places to live. They definitely made some sacrifices to live there. But over the last, 25 years, the area has really filled in. It's grown a ton. It's kind of a small functioning city now. A lot more shopping. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of shopping centers that have been built. There's a ton of houses. It's growing, continue to go out and expand more and more. So kind of general lay of the land. So city of Winchester, so that's kind of location. It's really split up into 2 different sections. So Winchester, if you pull up the city of Winchester on a map, like you can look at it, it's vast. It's a very large, acreage, a lot of miles, right? And really, it's split into 2 different sections. So you have what we'll call southern Winchester, which really people refer to as French Valley. That's kind of the southern area, and that's the area that I lived in. That area tends to be more expensive. So that's like that French Valley, southern area. It borders the city of Temecula, borders the city of Murrieta. You can easily cross over from one street to the other, and you're in any of those 3 cities. Part of the advantage too of that southern French Valley area is it's also a part of the Temecula School District, and there's a little portion that's actually part of the Murrieta School District as well. But they're a part of a really good school district. The northern portion of the city, that's kind of like true Winchester. I guess people don't really refer to it as North Winchester, but I guess for simplicity's sake, that's what we'll say. So North Winchester, that is very close to like the border of Hemet and then the border of Menifee. It is newer, so you have really homes just started being built there probably about like 8 years ago. There's a ton of new construction still going on out that way, but they are not zoned for the same school districts. So because of that, and because it's a little bit further out, like, I say a little, it's probably, I don't know, 10 miles or so difference between the two areas. But because of that, and the school district, they are less expensive. So homes are typically, I would say, about $150,000 to $200,000 less in the North Winchester area as opposed to the French Valley area. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's good information for you guys to have. If you have the budget and you can afford it, you can definitely, I think most people would say it's more desirable to live in the southern portion, unless you are really wanting to stick closer to that Menifee or Hemet area, if for whatever reason that's where your family is or your friends, or if there's some work or some reason for you there. But that southern French Valley tends to be more desirable because of the school district, and you tend to see a little more appreciation there as well. So my list of the 3 best areas and neighborhoods to live in Winchester. Number 1, I probably am biased. I just told you that I really grew up in this area, but I think the best area to live in Winchester is that French Valley area. And more specifically, they generalize French Valley as that kind of that southern Winchester area. That's kind of how people refer to it. But specifically, the old original neighborhoods that are there, it's right off of Benton Road, next to the Stater Brothers. You're also seeing referred to as like forecast homes. There was basically, I think there's 4 or 5 different sections, so it's a very large area. It's got to be probably 3,000, 4,000 different homes that are in there, but they're a little bit older, so they're kind of built late 90s to early 2000s, but very, very low tax, mostly all single stories, very, very low HOAs, only $35 a month. And again, the location is so good because you are so close to Temecula. You're maybe a mile and a half from the Temecula border. You're probably half a mile to the Murrieta border. The way they've extended the roads now, you're super close to the 215 freeway. You can easily get down to shopping in Temecula. And I think between the value, the price point, relatively affordable, and low HOA, low taxes, I think that is the best area to live in French Valley, or in Winchester. Again, I'm probably biased there, but that would be number 1. Neighborhood number 2 would be the neighborhood of Adeline's Farms. So this is another area that I guess I personally like. I just think it's a really good value. Also, one of the things that I think makes it really, really cool is they do so much for the holidays, especially at Christmas. There's a couple, famous streets in there that they have all types of like holiday decorations, Christmas decorations, blow-ups, music. They have, like the lights going across from one house to another, tied to the street lights. It's quite the scene. So it's super, super pretty. We love taking our kids through there and driving through. So I guess I probably have some attachment there. But also there's no HOA in this area, so which is nice. And it's a little bit newer. It's like built 2005, 2008 area. So a little bit newer homes. They tend to be a little more open concept layout. And as you drive through, it's just a really, really well taken care of neighborhood. And again, it is right there off of that Benton Road, kind of very close to that Forecast Homes area, that French Valley area I just talked about. And it's also referred to, you'll see it on a map, you see it labeled as Dutch Valley. So sometimes I'm talking to clients, they'll ask about Dutch Valley. That is, no one ever refers to an area as that, like no one that lives here would ever really probably say those words, but you do see it on a map. I think it refers to like an old windmill that was there like 50 years ago. But so if you're curious what Dutch Valley is, that is that area, but just people don't refer to it that way. And then the neighborhood number 3 on my list is actually one of the newer construction neighborhoods. So it is still part of that greater French Valley area. They're still, I guess they've just finished up some the new construction homes over the last year or so, but it's the neighborhood of Sienna. And I think it's a really good value. We've had a lot of clients look in there. We've had a handful of clients purchase homes in there, and they're new homes. They are big homes. They're super, super big. They're anywhere from like 2,800 to north of 4,000 square feet. and they are right on the border at the end of where the Temecula School District border is. So if you go any further out, you are not part of the school district, but that neighborhood and down, you are part of Temecula School District, which again is a huge value. Much more highly rated schools, and because they're new, I think you can get so much for your money. You do have a small HOA there. I'm sorry, no HOA there, but I think it's a really good value for people, and because new construction, super open concept, and I think it's really great place. So those would be my recommendations. So number 1 is the original French Valley, number 2 Adeline Farms, and number 3 is that newest construction area of Sienna. So hopefully that's good information for you guys. Again, this is an area we don't talk a lot about just because it is a little bit smaller, so hopefully it's helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You see my information, and hopefully talk to you soon. Thanks.